The Creative Soul by Nolini Kanta Gupta. The difference between living organism and dead matter is that while the former is endowed with creative activity, the latter has only passive receptivity. Life adds, synthesizes, new creates, gives more than what it receives. Matter only sums up, gathers, reflects, gives just what it receives. Creation, in some form or other, must be the core of everything that seeks vitality and growth, vigor and delight. Not only so, but a thing, in order to be real, must possess a creative function. The whole of existence is real because it is eternally creative. So the problem that concerns man, the riddle that humanity has to solve, is how to find out and follow the path of creativity. If we are not to be dead matter nor mere shadowy illusions, we must be creative. A misconception is that creativity is an aristocratic virtue, that it belongs only to a chosen few. A great poet or a mighty man of action creates indeed, but such a creation does not appear very frequently. A Shakespeare or a Napoleon is a rare phenomenon. They are in reality an exception to the general run of mankind. It is enough if we others can understand and follow them. Mahajano yena gataha. Let the great souls initiate and create. The common souls have only to repeat and imitate. But this is not as it should be, nor is it the truth of the matter. Every individual soul is by nature creative. Every individual being lives to discover and to create. The inmost reality of man is not a passive receptacle, a mere responsive medium, but it is a dynamo, a power station generating and throwing out energy that produces and creates. Now, the center of this energy, the matrix of creativity, is the soul itself, one's own soul. If you want to create, live, grow, and be real, find yourself, be yourself. It is because we fall off from our soul that we wander into side paths, paths that do not belong to our real nature, and hence that lead to imitation and repetition and decay and death. This is what happens to what we call common souls. The force of circumstances, the pressure of environment, or simply the momentum of custom or habit compels them to choose the easiest and the readiest way that may lie before them. They do not consult the demand of the inner being, but the requirement of the moment. Our bodily needs, our vital hungers, and our mental prejudices obsess and obscure the impulsions that thrill the hidden spirit. We hasten to gratify the immediate and forget the eternal. We clutch at the shadow and let go of the substance. We are carried away in the flux and tumult of life. We are helpless straws drifting in the current. But manhood demands that we stop and pause, pull ourselves out of the maelstrom, and be what we are. We must shape things as we want and not allow things to shape us as they want. Let each take cognizance of the Godhead that is within him, for self is God, and in the strength of the soul divinity create his universe. It does not matter what sort of universe he creates, so long as he creates it. The world created by a Buddha is not the same as that created by a Napoleon, nor should they be the same. It does not prove anything that I cannot become a Kalidasa. For that matter, Kalidasa cannot become what I am. If you have not the genius of a Shankara, it does not mean that you have no genius at all. Be and become yourself. Ma gridaha kashyachit dhanam, says the Upanishad. The fountainhead of creative genius lies there in the free choice and the particular delight, the self-determination of the spirit within you, and not in the desire for your neighbor's riches. The world has become dull and uniform and mechanical, since everybody endeavors to become not himself but always somebody else. Imitation is servitude, and servitude brings in grief. In one's own soul lies the very height and profundity of a Godhead. Each soul, by bringing out the note that is his, makes for the most wondrous symphony. Once a man knows what he is and holds fast to it, refusing to be drawn away by any necessity or temptation, he begins to uncover himself, to do what his inmost nature demands and takes joy in, that is to say, begins to create. Indeed, there may be much difference in the forms that different souls take. Infinite are the ways of manifestation, and all of them the very highest and most sublime, provided they are a manifestation of the soul itself, provided they rise and flow from the same level, whether it is Agni or Indra, Varuna, Mitra or the Ashwins, is the same supreme and divine inflatus. The cosmic soul is true, but that truth is borne out, effectuated only by the truth of the individual soul. When the individual soul becomes itself fully and integrally, by that very fact it becomes also the cosmic soul. The individuals are the channels through which flows the universal and the infinite in its multiple emphasis. Each is a particular figure, aspect, bhava, a particular angle of vision of all. The vision is entire and the figure perfect if it is not refracted by the lower and denser parts of our being. And for that, the individual must first come to itself and shine in its opal clarity and translucency. Not to do what others do, but what your soul impels you to do. Not to be others, but your own self. Not to be anything but the very cosmic and infinite divinity of your soul. Therein lies your highest freedom and perfect delight. Each soul has a consort, Prakriti, nature, which it creates out of its own rib. And in this field of infinite creativity, the soul lives, moves, and has its being.